U.S. guest of honor and Fox News host Tucker Carlson was granted a lightning visit by military helicopter to Hungary's 175 km high-tech, high-cost razor wire border fence with Serbia this week. He liked what he saw. After praising the fence for being so clean and orderly, in contrast to the chaos on the U.S.-Mexican border, he told his viewers, "It doesn't require a GDP the size of the U.S., it doesn't require high-tech walls, guns, or surveillance equipment. All it requires is the will to do it." And he praised Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban for not allowing this nation of 10 million people to be changed forever by people we didn't invite in and who are coming here illegally. To make sure his U.S. viewers understood his message, he contrasted Mr. Orban's policies with those of U.S. President Joe Biden. Because the lessons are so obvious, and such a clear refutation to the policies we currently have, and the people who instituted those policies, Hungary and its government, have been ruthlessly attacked and unfairly attacked. It's authoritarian, they're fascists. There are many lies being told right now, that may be the greatest of all. Carlson is attending a 3-day festival organized by the Matthias Corvinus Collegium in Esztergom, the former Hungarian capital and home of the Roman Catholic Church. MCC is an extremely well-funded school for top students, whom Mr. Orban's Fidesz government are carefully grooming to become the country's new right-wing elite. Both Carlson and Mr. Orban are due to address the crowds from the main stage. Carlson's visit comes at a useful time for Mr. Orban. After 11 years and almost unchallenged power, he faces a fierce battle for re-election in 8 months' time, against an unusually united opposition, from left to right, which accuses him of hijacking Hungarian democracy and financially favoring his own coterie of oligarchs and loyalists. Mr. Orban also stands accused of using Pegasus spyware purchased from the Israeli company NSO to tap the phones and mine the personal data of up to 300 independent journalists, lawyers, and businessmen not allied with his Fidesz party.
The European Commission has suspended the disbursement of post-COVID EU recovery funds, citing insufficient safeguards against corruption. Nordic governments have also suspended payment of funds to NGOs, after failing to reach agreement with the government over who should disburse them. But the embattled Hungarian Prime Minister loves a fight, and Carlson is his latest high-profile ally. The pro-government Central European Press and Media Foundation, comprising 457 TV and radio stations, online news portals, daily and regional newspapers, have been lavishing praise on Carlson, described as the most influential conservative thinker in the United States. Star status previously allotted only to ex-Trump campaign manager Steve Bannon or Donald Trump himself. The American political elite has become too mediocre and stupid to face the truth, Carlson said in an interview with the Hungarian Mandiner Weekly. The elite has turned against its own people, and that's not healthy. Simply put, the leadership of the country hates the American people. In contrast, he praised Mr. Orban. He is defending democracy against the unaccountable billionaires, the non-governmental organizations, and certain Western governments. He is fighting for democracy against those forces which would like to bury it. In his Fox News report, Carlson described the polite way in which Hungarian police first detained then pushed 2 Syrian asylum seekers through a gate in the fence, back into Serbia. It is unlawful, poses serious security risks, and plays into the hands of organized crime. Last month, the European Court of Human Rights found the Hungarian pushbacks unlawful, in a case brought by the Helsinki Committee. According to government figures, building and patrolling the fence has cost more than $1.5 billion so far. For conservative populists in the US, Hungary is more than just a small country in Central Europe. It's an example of right-wing politics done right. Viktor Orban's restrictions on press freedoms, his opposition to immigration and unfettered trade, his outspoken advocacy for traditional, family values, and his ethno-nationalist politics that push back against academia and internationalists all fit snugly alongside U.S. Republican Party rhetoric in the Trump era.
That explains Tucker Carlson's decision to broadcast his popular Fox News talk show from Budapest in his words of praise for Mr. Orban, not just for his policies but for defending Western civilization and being hated by the right people. It's a nod to the provocative brand of politics Mr. Trump embraced during his 4 years in office. The Trump presidency heralded an unprecedented level of modern political success for right-wing populists in the U.S. It also ended in tumult, in the middle of a deadly pandemic in the U.S. Capitol attacked by the president's angry supporters. Despite all the recent attempts to burnish Mr. Trump's legacy, the ex-president's popularity has significantly eroded among the general U.S. public, leaving his ideological compatriots looking for hope in the unlikeliest of places.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.